Hello guys, we are going to talk about user defined exceptions. So defined exceptions are a condition when we fail to handle the situations or errors with the help of inbuilt exceptions. So wherever there is a condition where some custom kind of requirement is there and you have to find the solution with the help of your own code, and your inbuilt exceptions are not helping in that particular situation. So we are going to see this particular thing. Now important thing right here is, as in Python, everything is object oriented, and for creating your user defined exceptions, it is necessary to create class for that. So you have to create class, and then you have to create objects of that particular class. So for using a user defined exception, you have to do that particular thing, you have to follow that particular rule. User defined exceptions in Python, also known as custom exceptions, are created to handle the specific error condition within a program that are not adequately covered by the Python inbuilt exception. These custom exceptions provide more clarity and granularity in the error handling, making code more readable and maintainable. Now, right here, we will see the scenario that how exactly this particular thing is going to happen. Okay, so as I told you, to create a user defined exception, a new class must be defined that is inherited directly or indirectly from the inbuilt exception class. Most standard Python exceptions are also derived from the base exception class. So right here, you have to inherit the exception class right here. So when you create a class, it is inherited from exception class, which is a standard class or a universal class, universal exception. So with the help of this universal exception, you have to define your class right here, and then you have to use that particular, and wherever it is wherever the condition is required, then you call that particular thing, or you create object of that particular class, and then you use that particular thing. Okay, now we will start with very basic thing, and we will see how to do that. Okay, so first thing is class my custom error, and as I told you, we have to inherit from exception class, sorry, exception, this one, universal exception. Okay, now what we are going to do is, we are just going to create it, we are not writing any set of code for that. Okay, we are just creating, we are just saying pass right there, we are not writing body of that particular thing. Now try, very first thing, and then I will raise. Okay, raise what? My, okay, I'm raising this one, and in this one I will simply pass one message, then and then whatever print message you want to give. And then right here, what will happen, it will call this particular exception which we have created. We have created class, that is customer error one. Okay, sorry, this is not customer, this is custom. Okay, so my error is flashed right here. Okay, my error is flashed right here, and here we have created a very basic or very small custom exception right here. Okay, so this is a user defined exception which is inherited by my exception class, sorry, my exception universal exception, and with the help of that I am doing this particular creating one particular user defined exception. Now here we are going to do some few other kind of operations. So first thing is we have to create a class age too low error. So this is my name of my this one. I'm inheriting it. Okay, exception. Again, I will simply say pass. I'm not writing any code right here. Now I'm creating one function, check age, and I'm passing age right here. Okay, and now if age is less than this one, so what you have to do, you have to raise this particular this one, and else okay, age is valid. Okay, now next one is where we are calling this particular thing. Okay, so how it is, I will say try. Okay, now guys, you can create three different sections, no issue at all. It is not necessary to give everything. So for a class, you can have one different section. For your function, you have a different section, and for try and accept, you can have a different section. So it is not necessary that you should always have. Now right here I am passing 17, and what we are doing right here is age, sorry, raise, and my print statement. Okay, and my print statement. Here we goes. So what will happen, age must be at least 18 years to enter the club. Now suppose I am passing 18 right here. Okay, so valid age. Okay, this is valid age. So this particular is a custom requirement, and we have tried to deliver that particular thing. Okay, now another case. Now in this particular case we will see the negative number error. Okay, so class negative number error. As I told you, we have to use exception, inherit exception right here, and we are saying pass. Then we are creating one function, what is check underscore number. So it will check the number. Okay, and what is that, if num is greater than 0, sorry, num is less than 0, then what you have to do? You have to raise the exception. Okay, you have to raise your exception. You have to give some message right there. So negative number are not allowed, else going good. Okay, going good. Then, then next one is try what? Check number. Okay, suppose now I am passing -10 and then accept my this one as negative number error and print NNE. So what will happen in this case? In this particular case, it will check that particular condition. If it is -1, it is less than 0. It will say, now suppose I remove minus sign right here and I run this one. So going good. Okay, so your program is running successfully. So you can write any kind of custom situation for your program and you can do this particular thing. Okay, now we are trying to do or replicate the zero division error right here without using the existing inbuilt exception. So what is my this one? So I will say division by zero error. Okay, division by zero error, and again exception, and in this one what we will do, again pass, we will create one, we will say def. Now if b equal to, so what you have to do, you have to raise and you have to say cannot divide by 0. Okay, they cannot divide by 0, and else, sorry, else what you have to do, you have to say return a by b. Now next, that is try what, try div underscore num and 12 comma 0. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to say accept this one as divided by 0 error. Okay, and then you have to say print and you have to raise divided by 0 error. Here we goes. So cannot divided by 0. Okay, we have replicated the same thing. Suppose this is 10, so it will give me the result. Okay, if it is 10, it will give me the, so This is how you can handle the situation. Now there is another custom requirement where you have to see that if you have sufficient balance or not. Okay, you have sufficient, if you have sufficient balance or not in your account. So what you have to do, what you will do right here, you will create one class, then you will define a function withdraw, and in this one you will pass two values. One is balance and second is amount. And then what you are doing right here is you are saying if amount is greater than balance. Exactly, we are going to check this one. Many banks do this particular thing. So what you have to do, you have to raise. You have to raise what? You have to raise exception. Okay. In that case, you have to raise not enough balance in account. In account to withdraw. Next is else. Again, good to go. Okay. Then what you have to do is balance minus equal to withdraw. Okay, balance, sorry, amount. So this is how exactly, and return balance. Okay, return balance. So this is what we are doing right here. Now very first thing is I will raise, so sorry, I will say try, and I will call my function. Okay, I will call my function. Okay, and I will pass two things. One is balance, which is 500, and I want to withdraw 1000. Now what will happen in this case? What will happen in this case, that it will raise the exception. So insufficient balance error. Okay, so what will happen right here? So I will say print, I will say print, and I will say IBE, and I will run this one, not enough balance. Now I will change this one, I will make it 1500. So absolutely no problem. Okay, no issues at all. It is running successfully. My condition is running, my user defined exception is behaving properly. Now the next example. So the next example is to validate email. Okay, to validate email. So how exactly it is going to happen? First thing, I will create a class, then I will say def check email. Okay, and I will pass something right here. I will pass email to it, and colon, and then if at the rate, okay, not in. Okay, not in. We have learned operators earlier. So not in email ID. So what do you have to do? You have to raise your exception. Okay, so come back here. You have to say raise, and then you have to raise the exception. So invalid email address, else what you have to do is you have to say print and print good to go. Valid email good to go. Again, the next one, that is try what? Check underscore email ID, and I will pass email ID as okay, abcd dot gmail dot com, and then I will call my exception, invalid this one as IEE, and then I will say print. What you have to print? You have to print IEE. So this is invalid email. Now let me check a valid email. So this one, valid email good to go. So this is again one custom situation, okay, where we are handling these errors. Okay, we are handling these errors in that. Now valid, what we are doing is we are checking invalid password. Okay, so in this one, what we will do is we will create class, and then we will see if my password length is suppose 6 character, and then I will raise my exception. Okay, I will raise my exception, and then I will see if this is good or not. Okay, and in the same way, if it is like that, you have to say it is valid one. Okay, so else print good to go, good to go. Okay, so it will handle that particular situation. Now next one is we have to check stock. Okay, so how to check stock? What we have to do right there? So very first thing is we will see that if we have enough stuff or not. So we are taking stock, we are taking quantity, we are checking if quantity is greater than this one. If quantity is greater than stock, then we have to raise exception. So out of stock exception will be raised, and then it will say out of stock. Okay, item out of stock. Now if I have 15 items available and I want to sell 10 items, so in that case we are good to go. Okay, so this is how exactly it works. Okay, this is how it works. Then you are trying to find temperature. Okay, you are trying to find valid temperature, and then based on that you have to this one. So what you are doing right here is you are creating one exception. Okay, you are creating one exception, temperature too high, error, and you are inheriting from exception. You are seeing pass, and then you are checking the temperature. So this one, and then we are saying that if it goes like that, temperature is too high. Okay, temperature is too high, and if it is not, then what we have to do is we have to say else. We have to say else, and then you have to say print good to go. Okay, so we will be good to go. Okay, so now suppose I make it 50-degree. If I make it 50-degree, so it will be good to go. So in this way you can write your own custom exception. Now last example where we are checking valid user. Okay, these things are very common, which we always do for developing websites and other things. So we do this particular stuff multiple times. So it is necessary that you should learn it in a proper way. Okay, so valid one. So what we are doing is we are checking if my username is blank. If it is blank, then raise my exception. That is valid user error. Okay, valid user error will check. If it is like that, then it will raise the exception. So guys, in this way we have taken too much of examples to explain user defined exceptions in Python in a very proper way, in a proper with multiple examples and with all whatever possible things are there. So we have done very good job right here, but you have to practice on this, and I will keep coming with multiple different videos on this, and with new stuff in with respect to that, especially with respect to Python, data science, generative AI, and much more. So I will keep giving new videos for that. Thank you very much. Bye.